Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There is no Patreon, no super chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them, collect them. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Just a real quick review here. Okinawa Rush is good for a retro heart. How you guys doing? Alright, a video about video games. Imagine that. What do I have to say about this one? Guys, Okinawa Rush combines many of the things that made our retro memories great and delivers many of the things that we miss from the old days. I can gladly say this is one game that I would gladly have paid more than what they charged me. Right? I downloaded it for the Nintendo Switch, but I played the original demo on Steam. And I'm glad to say that Okinawa Rush delivers on every expectation that you might even have just from the artwork. Right? Alone. And now that it's finished, let me tell you, now that the game is finished, it will really stir your retro soul if you like these kind of games. Now, you guys know that I've followed this game for a while, ever since that demo was out, and I talked about it back then, and I made the statement, take my money, because that's how I felt with the demo. Now that it's finished, I really am loving it. This game is available on many platforms. You can look it up. You should play it anywhere if you like this type of game. And now that I'm looking at my library, guys, and like my backlog is in the freaking hundreds, right? I'm trying to think of being more selective on the games that I'm playing, and that I talk about. So many things to talk about, right? Especially now that I'm, transitioning into being a more business driven channel with regards to video games, blockchains, and NFTs, right? But once in a while, I like to dip my toe back into the pool of retro games or retro-inspired games like this one. This would be perfect for many consoles out there, many cartridges. I don't know how much power it will take. I'm not a technical person, but playing it portable mode on the Switch for me would be great, absolutely great. But the Steam Deck's coming up, and this is the type of game I like to pick up and play, and kill some time, right? But before I say anything specifically about the game, I pray that you guys give me some leeway here, right? Because I'm not a professional reviewer, nor do I play every game in every genre. As a matter of fact, I pretty much skipped the whole 7th generation. For those of you that are new in the channel, I know many of you are, because I was working my ass off, right? And I just didn't have time, nor could I afford to play video games while I was, working my way through college and, doing all kinds of other things. Now, let me tell you, with that said, I know that I'm looking through nostalgia glasses here, number one. Number two, especially with gamers of my generation, we tend to focus more on gameplay more than graphics, and that's just generally it. I really don't care many times for the graphics of the game. I don't notice many things that modern reviewers notice about a game specifically. To me, they don't bother me as long as the gameplay is enjoyable, right? So if you're a younger person, say less than 35, watching this video, your standards are going to be way different than mine, right, when it comes to these games. But if you're an older seasoned player, or maybe, I don't know, you just enjoy retro games that look like this, then, this might make sense for you, right? Okinawa Rush actually took me back to the days when I was working at a donut shop / pizza shop, earning $2 an hour, just so I can play Kung Fu at the local 7-Eleven or sometimes at the liquor store. And I think that's what's at the soul of this game. That's what grabbed me, right? Because it reminded me of the old Kung Fu game, where you have this man, he's fighting for his girl for revenge in this case. But that's exactly where it took me back. But there's so much more in this game, so much more. It does have the soul of Kung Fu, but to that you can add just a little touch of Castlevania, right? For example, a good solid mix of Streets of Rage 2, the soundtrack. Not only that, the gameplay, the combos, and you finish it off with just a little pinch of Street Fighter. And that, in a nutshell, to me, is what this experience is like. I've enjoyed every second, guys, and I'm not even BSing you. As soon as I picked up this game, as soon as I saw it was available, I picked it up and I started playing it. And it's the kind of game that I play when I just want to clear up my head, at the end of the day, or just kill some time. It's just perfect for me. I believe back in the day, if I would have played something like this, I probably would have had it like a heart attack of joy, right? And let me tell you, for me right now, first impressions, this game is a 10 because these guys delivered on what they promised. Just at first impression, okay? And that's very hard to say these days. So many times we get promised one thing, and specifically with games that are so much more expensive, we get let down. But these guys delivered. They really delivered on what they promised. If I was being objective, which, I'm telling you right now I'm not, because I've followed this project, but if I was being objective and I just played this game for the very first time, I'd probably give it a 875 9. It's that smooth. That's how good the gameplay feels to me, right? Maybe because I'm an older gamer. What critiques do I have? Let's see. Just off the bat, you have to remap the buttons so they can feel more like something you would be accustomed to. But that's about it. Besides that, there isn't much here. There's a lot of callbacks to older games that really just took me back. Really took me back, and I'm glad that these guys made this game. The publisher of this game is No Gravity Games, and the developer is Sokaikan. And it's just awesome. I really want to recommend this game to any of you who love retro games. If you really have the retro itch and you like playing retro games that take you back to the best places in your retro soul, Okinawa rushes for you. This one will put a smile on your retro soul, that's for sure. Alright, humans, thank you for joining me for this quick review, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. New videos every weekend and whenever I feel like it. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Ring that bell.